Hello, all you lovely YouTubers. Um, I would like to introduce myself to anybody that has not joined my YouTube channel before. The adorable, wonderful Mike Winnett and Habits have put a YouTube video on their page about how did I manage to generate this huge number of followers on Facebook and Instagram. And essentially, it was a really short answer, actually. It was just about being a complete and utter clutterfuck. Celebrating the fact that, sorry, my phone's ringing. I'm going to ignore that. It doesn't stop. But yeah, basically, imperfection is the new real thing. This is what we need. I am so well, I have been for a very long time. I'm 53 now. And I think probably since I was about 11, I kind of got a little bit sick because there were lots of really pretty girls at school who had flat stomachs and all that kind of jazz. And they were the in girls. And I was always kind of not an outsider, I wouldn't say, but most definitely the girl that was at the end of the playground on her face, mainly with grazes on her knees. And it's sort of gone from there. And I've ploughed my way through life, making the most god-awful cock-ups. And it's made me a lot of friends, actually, because I don't hide from it. And I don't hide. I don't keep it secret. I don't. In fact, I celebrate it. I celebrate it because apart from anything else, it seems that falling down rabbit holes and doing some of the things that I get up to actually make other people feel better about themselves. And I think in this day and age where we are all fighting this machine that is social media, which is the sales and marketing department of people's lives, where they get to put this perfect image of themselves on there. And fuck me, I'm sorry, I don't know about you, but it makes me feel bloody inadequate. In fact, I've had a little cry today. Actually, no, that's not true. I've had 3 cries today. I've had 3 cries today, and 2 of them have been a result of me being utterly shit at things. I am a self-declared technophobe. I am really, really proud of myself when I managed to achieve a download. I mean, somebody had to explain that to me. Mike had to explain something, boohoo, what that was. Poor God only knows. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I am going to tell you that every woman in this world, sorry, this is a really bad angle for a woman of my age because you're going to catch all the chins and everything. Every woman in this world has flaws. She has bags. She has extra skin. Because let's be honest, if you didn't have extra skin, my darling, when you bent over, you would probably split. And right now, I'm at the point where I'm supposed to be sharing links all over the place, and I'm going to split because I'm about to lose my shit completely. And I don't want to do that because if I lose my shit, there's shit everywhere, and nobody wants that. Nobody. I have a Labrador and a cat, so there's enough shit in this house as it is, and in the garden and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I also have a husband. They're a fun breed, aren't they? Not. Who is sitting in his office right now, his man cave that he apparently built for me because he had an indoor office, even though he worked in London and I was working from home. So he built this beautiful man cave, this lovely log cabin, and then he took it over. So I now work, as you can see, from my living room. And I have just done fucking everything. The logs, the washing up. I'm just cooking a chili. In fact, I've just set fire to the chili. I burnt the whole of the fucking bottom of it to the pan. Not only that, in the midst of it all, and I don't know whether you can see this top. This is the top I've just had to put on, actually. I was wearing it earlier on. I've just had to clean it up because I went to put some tomato puree in my chili and squirted a whole load of it on my, the phone's ringing again. Sorry. All over my face, my hair. My hair's had to be redone at the front, washed and everything. So tomato puree, don't recommend squirting it all over your head. Doesn't go well. Also doesn't come out of things. So I've had to do that. I've had to do the washing. I've had to do the logs. Oh, I've had to vacuum as well. And I've broken the vacuum cleaner in the process of vacuuming. And then whilst I was doing the logs, I banged my head on the fucker's motorbike, his middle-aged crisis motorbike. It's not gone well. So I've had a couple of cries, but you know what? as I said in that video to Mike, one of the things about making a difference, and I believe that social media should be used not to sell things, not to sell yourself, most definitely, unless you're of a certain trade. I mean, somebody once suggested to me that when I was really, really down and out and struggling for money, that I sold or took my clothes off for a living. And I gave it a little bit of a think, and I thought, actually, people are going to pay me to put my clothes back on. Not good, hey? Anyway, I digress. As a menopausal woman, that's the one thing you're going to work out with me, is that I lose my train of thought. Anybody else? Brain fog, total brain fog. I have fucking no idea what I was talking about there. But yeah, so yeah, in the midst of all this drama and tears and, oh, for fuck's sake, my life is so dull and mundane, and I'm trying to hold the kids together, and I've got 2 teenage girls upstairs, and we've got hormones flying around there, we've got dog farting and pretending it's me, and me, 53 years old, and then him sat down there with one job, just the one. He's quite good at it, apparently. I don't know, excuse me, I run my nose really. I don't know what he does, really. I try not to ask, got to be honest. But what I said was keep it funny. For some reason, social media and the whole world, we are literally, aren't we? Can I just point something out, by the way, just as I move into lockdown and how miserable we all are at this time of our lives? I've had to get my husband to cut my hair. Has anybody noticed? I've only just noticed how much longer this side is to this. You learn something new every day, and I have just learned that. Yep, one side of my hair is distinctly longer than the other. Never mind, there are worse things that can happen. So I'm going to tell you something really funny. One of the things that I'm going to start focusing on this YouTube channel is the Emma Skeets story of catastrophes. Okay, this is a really brief story because I've gone on too long already. But when I was 19 years old, I did something really, really bad. And I did it deliberately. So I'm not going to say I did this by accident or I was drink fueled, but I planned this, trust me. It was on I would call it my bucket list, but it's more of my fuck it list, actually. I decided that I wanted to have a one night stand. I'd never had one before. I've never done drugs. I like wine. I do like wine. I like gin, a lot of gin. But I never did drugs, and I've never been particularly sexually prolific. And there's going to be quite a lot of people out there going, fuck, what? No, I'm kidding. But anyway, I'd never had a one night stand before. And I really wanted to know what it was like to pick some random guy up in a bar. I'm going back like to the 80s now, okay? Not now, not recently, fucking hundreds of years ago. Jesus Christ, this is a witch right here. And yeah, so I went to, and I'm going to name, not names, but places. I went to the Pitcher and Piano on the Fulham Road, which is near where I lived at the time. Please stop ringing me or I will cry. Yeah, so I went to the Pitcher and Piano on the Fulham Road, and there was this seriously fucking hot guy at the bar. So I started sinking spritzers, as you did back then. And yep, I picked him up, took him home, did terrible things to him. Well, not terrible, but nice things. But you know what I'm talking about. And the next morning he said to me, so can I have your number? And I said, look, I'm really sorry. For me, that was just one night. And he said that. And I said, look, no, sorry, that was on my bucket list. You were my bucket. I probably could have put it better. However, that was that, end of story. And I felt kind of bad. He was a really nice chap. And it turns out I probably had hurt his feelings a little bit. But, it's sometimes the shoe has to be on the other foot. And I've always been a little bit of a kind of, let's mix it up a bit. Anyway, that was the end of that. I did feel guilty for a few days, actually. I didn't feel good about myself. However, the pendulum always swings, and karma is a bitch, let me tell you. 8 years later, I ran over a pedestrian in Cape Town, where I was living at the time. Fortunately, because it was Cape Town city centre, I wasn't going particularly fast, but I knocked this man down, and I felt I was devastated. Jumped out of the car. He had a massive, great big gash in his leg. And he looked up And it was him. It was Carl. And he looked at me and he went, Emma, 8 years later, I ran over my blind date. No, he wasn't my blind date, my one night stand. I've got another story about a blind date that I told on the Russell Howard show, which I'm going to try and download and post on this wretched thing, but that's why the freaking laptop's going out the window. So there you go. Just one of my stories. One night stand, totally innocent-ish. No harm done. And then I run him over 8 years later in a completely different continent. That's it. That's the end of the story. I really hope you enjoyed a little bit of that. So there you go. Life isn't perfect. Nobody's perfect. Don't believe anything you see on social media about, my husband is my world. My husband is perfect. He does everything for me. He's amazing. Husbands are, let me tell you the definition of a husband, okay? It's somebody who seemed like a good idea at the time. And that's the end of today's lesson from Emma Skeets, the menopausal mayhem mother. Mike Winnett and Habits, thank you for everything, guys. You're either going to make me famous or get me in jail. Let's see which comes first. Lots of love to you all. Bye. Now I've got to turn this fucking thing off. You know, you watch. Bye. Take care.